Hi everyone, and welcome to the podcast where we all come together in downtown Rockhampton to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Looking forward to a brand new year next year. But what we want to really focus on today is the stress and the anxiety that can be provoked by this holiday season. So we want to talk a little bit today about, hey, what that is, how does it happen, because there's lots of reasons why it happens to each of us individually, and also to notice it and go, how am I feeling? I'm allowed these feelings, but I don't want to sit with them for too long, so let's acknowledge them and then think about, well, how am I going to get through my day and work, and share my space with others and enjoy the time together with people, not probably spending as much time focusing on that, maybe the negative space that I'm sitting within. So let's look at what's going on over Christmas and the holiday period a little and think about, well, why does this period cause us so much stress? So I've got Isabel and Celeste as always with us, and we're going to sort of dig into that a little bit and think about, well, why do we get so much stress? I mean, I know personally for me, family has a lot of impact on me on Christmas, and when we come together I find that quite stressful because we've got a lot of triggers in our family that create some behaviour that people start arguing and start being not polite to each other and judging each other, and I struggle with that, so I have to do things to get away from that. But there's lots of other reasons people have stress. I think financial stress was something big you were talking about, Celeste, when we were having a conversation yesterday.
And I think expectations which can flow through to the money that we feel we need to spend to show that we love someone and we value them, and so these expectations can really put a lot of pressure on ourselves to spend money, to be going to lots of functions, and we can really get wrapped up in it, and it can cause us a lot of anxiety and pressure. So it's about, what helps me is to sit back and just look at what the list is, look at what I'm feeling I need to do, and thinking, well, is that realistic? What can I afford? What do I have time? What time can I afford? Write the list of things that I need to do, and again sit back and communicate, like the communication piece with family and whoever
connecting with over the Christmas period,
because you can work everything out, and then you can think, well, is that in my head, or is that
real?
Is it real? And get that clarification.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are some of the reasons, Isabel, that Christmas might cause you particularly a little bit more stress and sort of anxiety?
Well, for me, it's more the fact that I've been working and living overseas. So my home is, my kids live there, but it's not the same as when the homeowner is at home. So at the moment, that's sort of that produces me a little bit of stress. So what I've been doing is basically allocated time during November and December, so I could clean my house, get rid of all the clutter, go to the dump and get rid of everything that was bothering me. I also got a pressure washer, and I started cleaning the driveway, the house. I washed my house entirely. And the sense of satisfaction and achievement, that was amazing. That was great. Because then I continue with with the rugs, and then the cars.
Very cleansing.
Yeah, very cleansing. And I can tell you that was very, I don't know, it made me feel a sense of achievement, seeing the house clean and seeing, that I removed everything that was bothering me. I just went to the dump, and, a few things we donated, but most of it, I got rid of it. And that is amazing, because I feel like the clutter is out, and I'm happy now where I am in my home. I feel like all the spaces are as they should be.
And you're ready to have everyone around.
True.
Look at your clean house at Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds like it gives you mental clarity to have that clear space around you, like when we clean a desk up, kind of thing.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Mental clarity.
So there are some other reasons that, you know, Christmas and holiday period can be really harsh, but there is some other things that people have got going out there. You know, there is a lot of people who don't have people at Christmas. So they are isolated and lonely because maybe they have got people overseas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their main core family units overseas. They haven't connected with a big community here. Maybe they don't have people to share with. They may be older and have lost, you know, a lot of their family have died.
Yeah.
So, you know, they don't have a lot of people left in their world. There might be broken families, so there might have been divorce, loss of children, those sorts of things over the period. So they're not connected and so they are alone. They can't spend time with family because the family's still in split.
Children all staying with the ex-partner.
You've got to share,
so
you know, you've got to share custody.
time.
Who's got the kids at Christmas? That can be really stressful for those people who have got custody issues over Christmas. The other thing is, you know, and I guess it's continuing with that grief stream there, is, you know, Christmas is a time where we sit and we notice people are missing. So we've lost people, and it might have been that I lost someone 20 years ago, but right now, you know, I notice that I've lost someone 20, because, you know,
it all comes back like it was yesterday, because normally we would be doing this activity or sharing these times together and the little rituals that we shared and the fond memories of it.
Exactly, and now it's
Painful as
Christmas.
well.
And I can't do it because they're gone, you know. And grief is a continuum, and remembering it, you know, goes from denial through to acceptance. And we sometimes fluctuate along that continuum. And I think that comes back to that idea of, you know, knowing that I'm feeling that and sitting with my feelings and going, oh, I'm feeling sad because I'm missing Gran, you know. I really miss my Gran, and, you know, I'd love to share something with her. But she's gone. She's been gone for 20 years, but, you know, I still think of her fondly often. So it's that type of thing that, you know, it can really trigger us. So, you know, I guess it's when we start, how do we notice that? I mean, I notice it in myself because I'm feeling it, and I'm a really emotive person, and I acknowledge my feelings, and I sit with them and I reflect on them. But how can we notice it in other people? What do we see in, you know, if you've got someone you're worried about, like, how do you notice that they're not quite okay? And I should just check in with them. Like, what do you notice?
Well, for me is, as you just said, you are very good at checking in and knowing your emotions. I'm the opposite. I'm very good at feeling what other people are feeling and not realizing what I'm feeling. So to answer that question, for me, it really is easy because I can perceive what people are, if they're sad, if they're happy, because I become sad and happy. And that's something
you feel it.
I can,
You feel them, so then you can go, oh, I better check in with these people.
Exactly right. So, but I'm bad at checking inwards. That's something that I need to work on because because even, you know, I was telling you before, I'm so busy in my head, and I'm so busy, you know, doing things sometimes that I don't even realize that I even cut myself, because it's not just the emotions, it's also pain. I don't know why, but you know, seeing other people, I know exactly when somebody's having a bad time.
Okay. And what do you notice, Celeste, in like people around you when you can just see something's not quite right?
Yes.
You get that sense of, what are they? Something's
I guess
not right.
you read the signs, like you notice that they're not their usual self. They might be very quiet or a bit withdrawn, or I don't know. I guess you pick up on something that's different, and it's just checking in to see. They seem really quiet, you know.
That quiet thing is really important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
how are you going?
Yeah. Noticing when people are quiet and just maybe stepping back a bit and withdrawn. You know, and it might be that they actually are feeling something and they just want to be away for a minute and just sit by themselves. You know.
That's it. You might get leave me alone.
Yeah.
Just want my own space.
But that's, I guess, where you do that follow-up question, isn't it? Where you go, can I do anything for you right now? Or are you okay? Like, just, I'm here. but I don't want to be in your face.
No,
and I
it's
want
just checking in and being available if they want to.
Good
talk
word,
about
being
it.
available, isn't it? And that's what we
And
need to do
attentive.
more of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing we want to, probably the messaging we want to get out there today is, start just over the crazy holiday period that has a lot of marketing hype and a lot of expectation. Just go, what's your expectation? What do you want? What do you want to get out of the period? And, and how can you be in the moment with people and really connecting and getting that beautiful soul sort of feeling of just enjoying the space with people, and how can you do that? I don't know, there's a lot of research suggests that a really good way to lead into Christmas is to do lots of planning.
Yeah.
Plan ahead.
Plan ahead. I usually plan ahead. Like, I got all my Christmas presents done by the first week of November, so everything is done. And
Wow. See, if I did that, I would lose them. I wouldn't know where I put them in the house. I'd be so good at stashing presents, and then I'd be thinking, I'm going to have to go buy more now because I can't find them.
Yeah. So
Right.
look, I got my favorite place where I go because they got everything that I need there. So I know the place. I know that by the first week of November, I'm done.
Organised.
And I got one daughter that she's even worse than me in organizing because she creates a list and she sent it the first day of November. She sent it around. So these are the things so you don't have to worry about thinking what you give me. There's a list you can choose.
Wish list.
So here's a tip. Get really organised people in your life at Christmas. They'll write lists. Then your Christmas is easier. That's
Absolutely.
tip number one. Plan ahead, or connect with really organised people. All right.
Yep.
But what's some other things we can do? Like so the lists that we see out there talk about being really mindful of drinking alcohol, taking drugs. What's wrong with drinking alcohol and taking drugs at Christmas?
Well, you can. It's festive. It's often
People get
part
into
of
a
our
trap,
culture,
don't they?
isn't it?
Yes.
But it's that staying in control because then we start to get ruminating some thoughts about what somebody said, and instead of being in control and asking and clarifying about what did you mean by that, it's like we jump to conclusions and then we spark off one another, and it can end up with arguments in some situations, particularly if things are a bit tenuous to start with and you have a few drinks for the Dutch courage to be able to manage difficult Uncle so-and-so or, Uncle Fred. So it's important to sort of be aware of what we're imbibing and walking that line.
Exactly, because it just changes our authentic self.
Yes.
And and this is the time when we have to be most authentic with people, isn't it? So
And another reason is that I find that if you start drinking a lot during this period, and you start on the 24th, 25th, 26th, and you start drinking every day,
right
then
through
it's
to
like,
the 2nd of January.
Then you like, okay, then I'm not gonna go to the gym again.
Yes.
And then I start eating badly, and then you do that until the 1st or 2nd of January, and then it's so hard to go back on track if you already had a nice routine, going to the gym, eating healthy, and sleeping, right? So you make things harder for yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's that you've spent a whole year having some really good habits.
Yes.
You've gone to the gym, you've eaten well, you've slept well, you have, moved and used your body in the way that you find acceptable. And then from, like, as you said, 24th to the 2nd of January. So what is that in total? Like 9 days or something?
Yeah, like 5 kilos.
You're carrying another 5 kilos into the new year when you've got to make a resolution and you're too tired. Okay, so what can we do? Can we just find a moderation button? Like, can we have a moderation alarm in our house that someone can hit it and go, like, I'm flagging you right now.
Yeah.
You're cut off. No more Christmas cake for you. you know.
Or have
Yeah,
some
that could start.
have water. Have water.
Tell
Have
me
a
what to do.
bottle of water, cold water next to you. So you drink a glass and then you drink the whole bottle of water. See?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you feel like you're drinking, and you don't have an empty glass,
Yeah.
but keep being filled.
Yeah,
With-
totally.
Yeah.
And you know, I've been to lots of, you know, people who they continually have that water jug always filled
Mhm.
with ice water,
Mhm.
like at the kitchen sink over Christmas, for exactly that reason. So there's no
Mm.
reason to go and grab, like even just, you know, sugary drinks,
Yeah.
because there's a beautiful icy cold
Yeah.
water
Yeah.
on tap.
Mm.
So, you know, that's a
Yeah.
good, that's
Mm.
that's
And the
just a
hangover-
mild hack, but a really good
Yeah.
one.
And the hangover is not going to be that bad because at least you're going to be hydrated.
Exactly. Perfect.
See?
See,
I know.
solutions
Yeah.
are abounding here today, people. We've got it all going on. So so drugs and alcohol are out. So you know we don't want to do that. But what's some other things that we can talk to the listeners today, and so that they can share this and get this out to their universes to go, hey, what else can we do to look after ourselves this Christmas period?
I would suggest that if you have a routine in terms of going to the gym, sleeping, and eating, nutritious foods, just keep that going. Okay, there is a season, there is party, and there is yummy food that you are gonna have, but that doesn't mean that you have to abandon everything that you've been working on. Just keep doing that, okay, and have the other food that that your family prepared for Christmas and everything. But yeah, maintain going to the gym, and maintain sleeping well, and maintain drinking water, and try
And
to
that
have your
balance.
veggies.
And that balance,
And meat,
keep your
yeah.
balance. Don't go completely to the dark side.
That's exactly right.
You know?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
That's
Keep
it.
the light side with you at times. That would be lovely.
Yeah, because the the Christmas New Year season is gonna be over in a week or so, and you don't want your healthy habits to get over as
Yeah.
well, with that.
Because it takes away your confidence about yourself.
Yes, yeah.
And don't do that to yourself.
Because it's
people.
so hard.
You have got. Keep your confidence,
Yeah.
keep your sense of self, and look after that. I think is so important, isn't it?
Yes, it's so
Yeah.
hard because once you stop, it takes a while to
Get the
mentally
momentum
prepare
up again.
and getting momentum. Yeah.
I think there's also plenty of situations where you're in a different environment. You might be staying in another city or out with relatives out on farm or whatever,
Yeah.
and so you don't have access to your usual tools of your healthy habits. But maybe there's a way that you can still take steps that will keep some of those habits going at some level. So maybe and this can work as a win-win, because everyone needs their space. You know what we say about relis and fish, like those relationships that, 3 days and then everyone wants to go their separate ways for a bit. Like it's good for a while, and then we want to get our balance back. But if we can get out and go for a walk, we can have our own space, as well as ticking the box to get a bit of movement in. And yeah, there's lots of different ways that we can find a way around that, and it can actually work at a couple of different levels for us.
Great. So there's a couple more things that are really good at Christmas too that are helpful. Is sometimes if we have got some triggers going on, is really thinking about animals. Like our animals are really good circuit breakers, like playing with the cats, the dogs, the cows, those sorts of things. Playing with the kids and their presents, because they get some great presents, like they always get a new building block game or something like that that you
Yeah.
can go play with. That's always a really good diffuser, so you can get away from Uncle Fred.
Yes, yeah.
Because
You need that break.
and you were talking about boundaries with Uncle Fred.
Yeah, so we can feel a lot of pressure that we need to have them stay, and then they'll stay for a week, and we don't actually have a conversation about what works for us.
Yeah.
And it, again, this is coming back to something we've talked about in the past about courageous conversations, and it does take a bit of effort to psych up, but to have a conversation, it actually helps everybody. And you'll all have a more comfortable day if you know, if you've decided that that Uncle Fred's torn a hole in his manners way too many times, you know, or you've all triggered together.
Yeah.
We're not going to blame one individual. It mightn't all be Uncle Fred. Like, we all have our perceptions. So, so it's like saying, well, we'd love you to come and have lunch with us. Take the front foot. So you're the one initiating it, and say, love you to come and have lunch with us. 12 o'clock, bring a plate or whatever you'd like them to contribute, or if they'd like, give them a choice. And if they've got to travel, well, it's like there's this really good motel around the corner, and I've checked their availability, and there's a bed, like there's a nice room there, and they've got this and that, and so you're sort of being gentle. You're still being welcoming, taking the initiative, but not, but setting some limits around what is manageable.
Yeah, and I think that's sometimes the thing we're too fearful to do, and we sit in fear, you know, because we're sort of like, but we, you know, we think we'll hurt someone's feelings, but we actually don't know until we get there.
That's
and sometimes Uncle Fred's bad manners might actually be Uncle Fred being triggered by us, because you know, we might drive Uncle Fred a bit crazy, so he does things that we don't like because he knows we don't like them. Yeah.
And maybe he's feeling stressed that, oh God, I'm going to have to go and stay with them. And they're going to be offended if I don't, you know, if I choose to stay in a motel. Maybe you're opening a door for everybody that
to find
opportunity to be comfortable.
Yeah, because the holiday period, it's exactly that. It's a holiday time. So if you're not the 24/7 shift workers out there that, you know, and thank you to all of you who are going to be caring for people.
Absolutely.
Also, you know, I know my family work in the coffee industry massively, and I know they're making coffees all day. So, you know, if you're not working, and for many people they are working, but if you're not, you know, the holiday period is a bit of downtime that we've got to breathe and just be at peace, to maybe do you know, for me, I'm, you know, as many people who know me and follow me, they know how big I am on reflection. So to sit quietly and just think about the year and go, what have I done? Where am I going? What do I want to do? And so from that, we get a lot of energy for ourselves to go, wow, you know, I am on the right path I need to be on, you know, and I'd like to tweak this and this. So it's, for me, a real re-energizing time, and so that's why, you know, I really find it important that we've got to find a way to navigate through our, you know, that potential stress and anxiety and come out the other side to a place of peace. So really share that time with the people that we love. Get some energy from it. Don't give the energy away. So that's where I always sit, and I you know, I do get stressed with Christmas 100%. You know, I love Christmas hard, and I decorate my house fully top to toe. There's not a spare space in the place, and it really is quite you know, a lot, but I love it, and you know, I think that's the thing. I just want to get more energy from that, and be really careful about what I'm giving away. So that's always something I'm noticing in myself, really checking in always with the people around me to make sure they're okay, and just focusing on that more nurturing component. I don't really get caught up in too many other things, I don't think.
I know I've got a number of friends that really run the gauntlet at Christmas. So Christmas Day, you know, they get up and it's straight off to the one lot of family for breakfast and have the morning, and then they go to and have lunch with another lot of rellies, and then it's off to, you know, another hour's drive to have dinner and the evening time together. And like, it seems to work for them, and so that's great. But personally for me, I'd feel really burdened, and I'd find that really exhausting to follow that kind of itinerary. I feel like there's this burden of expectations. So it's doing what's right for the individual and in the context of, you know, everyone else, but talking about it like, actually, I don't think I can do this much today, you know, for Christmas. Can we catch up on Boxing Day? Or
well, there is all those other days.
What are some
there
other options
Boxing
we
Day.
can
there
explore
is,
here?
You know, some other days. I know that people have to go back to work after Boxing Day, but there is a lot of other days in there that, you know, people do have some different work schedules where you could potentially catch up for an afternoon tea or, you know, an early breakfast somewhere, you know.
Yeah, and even before Christmas, I went to a white Christmas 2 days ago. So and I get to see all my friends, and you know we do that every year, and that's very convenient because we do Naughty Santa. So it's just a small present, but it's an opportunity to see friends that, yeah, you know that. I probably, if we didn't do that, I wouldn't have the time to see them every year.
Exactly, because they have their own family commitments at the crazy
exactly
time.
right.
So, so creating those opportunities around the holiday period too. Not, it doesn't all have to be on top of each other.
Exactly right.
No,
That's right.
but we get into this fixed mindset where we say this must all happen.
It has to happen on these days.
And we get ferocious. Dial it down. Like, just go, what really has to happen? I don't know. Well, anything else we can wrap it up with today?
I think that's
You
all.
incredible ladies.
Pretty good. Pretty
Alright,
good.
yeah.
I was just going to add that sometimes it really doesn't. It comes back to expectations of what we should be doing
Oh,
for
the shoulds.
Christmas. And so, for my family of origin, growing up in the land, it was not a good time to go away. It was harvest time when we were young kids, and there was always, you know, that had to happen. That crop's got to come off when it's ready to come off before the storms or the weather changes. So that presents challenges for people. And the other aspect would be fires. That there's always this high risk of fires. So you're really anxious, you know, from, you know, at that time my parents being away from the property when there was this big risk of fire. It was just not a comfortable time to go away. And so how can we manage our expectations around that? I mean, we had a lot of Christmases at home and it was very cosy, just our family and maybe a few relatives visit, and we just fitted in around, you know, we just were pretty flexible about how we celebrated, but everyone had got together for lunch. You know, what are other ways we can do it? Does it have to be on the 25th of December? Can we still observe our religious aspect of it if that's the meaning that it has for us? And then do something else that's getting the family together at another time in the year.
And it doesn't have to be that hot cooked Christmas lunch either. It can be some share platters out where everybody brings a platter, so therefore the onus is not on one person to do all of the cooking, and everybody just brings a platter and we share.
That's a great idea.
And then nobody's stressed because everyone's bought their platter, everyone sits down, now we're sitting around the food, eating, sharing, connecting. You know, it's kind of nice, isn't it?
And I think the same thing can be said around the shift work aspect, because, you know, usually you're expected to work either Christmas or New Year, and so we do that give and take, and so how can we make that work so that we can maximise our time with family and talking to your family about them, not expecting that if you've come off night shift on Christmas Day that you're going to power on into visiting the whole family all day. It's like, no, that's the middle of the night for me by lunchtime, so I kind of need to have my downtime and talk about it. I do observe that with colleagues who find it difficult to get other family members to understand what it's like when you're a shift worker.
Oh, because 24/7 shift work is unique, and if you don't do it, you don't understand it. So no.
We can help one another with that.
100%.
All right. Well, we hope that, you know, this conversation is useful for you and it gives you a few ideas as to, you know, how to plan and how to do Christmas. We are happy to listen to what you have to say, so please comment below. And also, if you like this video, you can like and share and, of course, subscribe.
Yeah, and we'll also put some links for Are You OK? And a few other links about how to just navigate the Christmas period down below.
Yeah.
That's it.
Merry Christmas.
And have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.